Good evening, everybody. I'd like to call this Aston Township Board of Commissioners meeting for Wednesday, July 19th, 2023 to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, good evening, everybody. We're going to go a little bit out of order here tonight. But two things first. The board had an executive meeting before we came out here to discuss some personnel matters. And also, Commissioner Segal is under the weather, so you got to deal with me tonight. All right, we're going to go to item 3, review and approval of the minutes of the regular meeting of June 21st, 2023. Is that a motion?
Make a motion. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right. And now we're going to go to item 5. We're going to go right down to item G. And we have a promotion here in the police department to announce. And that is for Commissioner Dockery. Okay.
Just an FYI, this is our first promotion in over 10 years. So I have a conditional appointment of probationary sergeant. I would like to make a motion that this board appoints Detective Joseph Nardone to the position of sergeant. Sergeant Nardone will undergo a 1-year probationary period. The effective date for Sergeant Joseph Nardone will be effective August 1st, 2023, in the form of a motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions from the board? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Nays? Ayes have it. Congratulations. Thank you for that.
Chief, come on up, would you? Let me get one with them. With the guy. Look at you, Kelly. Thank you.
This is kind of bittersweet because our sergeant now moves down to the street and he'll be out there with the squad, and now we're going to have a vacancy up there in the detectives bureau. So congratulations, sir. Okay. So we're very happy for you. Congratulations.
Thanks again. Men, congrats. Thank you.
Chief, does he get a new uniform?
No, it's going order.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, now we're going to have committee reports.
All right, mixing it up. I'll start with the fire committee report. There's a longer report, but I like to always just hit a couple of the highlights. First one, for Aston Township Fire Department, is still strong manpower per incident, an average of 8 people per incident. And from a dispatch time, EMS dispatch is just about 7 minutes, and fire dispatch is 6 minutes and 42 seconds. So still strong time in terms of our folks coming out. That's it for me. Commissioner Higgins.
Commissioner Bowden.
Yes, I have a couple of things. The first thing I have is something like Stephen would like the librarian would like us to report that all together now summer libraries program is continuing for the children. If your child picks a lot of books he or she reads, they can receive a special prize every week to read. There are upcoming Wednesdays at 1 programs. There's a program 719, Ed Schmidt, The Magician, which was today. It was fabulous. It was, I know you can't hear it. We'll try it again. 7:19, which is today, Ed Schmidt was a magician, and I happened to stop there. It was fabulous program. 8:2, safari parties and animal show. 8:9, Don Doherty, interactive storyteller. 8:16, Tom Cole, ventriloquist. 8:23, young readers party. 8:30, making music. So many things going on. Our next regular day is Saturday, July 22nd at 1 o'clock. Bring your child to build and play with the library's Lego collection. Saturday, July 29th at 2 p.m., join the library for a special story time with the staff from Colonial, Pennsylvania Plantation. We will read Charlie Needs a Cloak by Tommy DePaulo and learn all about wood processing with real wood from the plantation's own sheep. Oh, it's not wood, it's wool. I read the wrong thing. Sorry about that. Space is limited. And the other thing I have, Mary Ann Bolin is not able to be here tonight, and she asked me if I would remind everybody about the upcoming Community Day, October the 7th, with the rain date of October the 14th. If any questions, you can email Mary Ann at Mimi Bull at Comcast.net. Or if you have a question about the parade, you can email me at nbowden, BOWDEN, at Comcast.net. That's all I have.
Thank you, Commissioner Bowden. Looking straight down the line, I'm going to do my committee report so I don't mess up the end because John's got a presentation to do. So this is the permits and licenses report from the Building and Codes Department dated July 11, 2023. And the following is a report for the permits and licenses issued for the month of June 2023. Beginning balance was $219,411. Total income from building permits and general contractor licenses was $22,579. Total electrical permits and licenses was $4,572. And total for plumbing and heating permits and licenses was $4,467. Income from Board of Health licenses $150. Income from peddlers and vendors permits $1,500. No commercial maintenance inspections. Income from certificates of occupancy $1,687. Income from rental licenses $1,800. And income from street openings $510. So the total revenue collected for the month was $37,265. And the total for 2023 year-to-date was $256,676, and the total at the same period of time in 2022 was $314,332. And that's my report, and I'll go to Mr. Burry.
I have the financial report as of June 30th, 2023. Operating cash in the general fund was $4,282,165.89. Other funds, TD was a bond fund checking is $430,689.37. Escrow checking was $375,995.92. Total cash balance $23,502,519.18. That concludes my report.
Thank you. And Commissioner Rodriguez.
Thank you, Commissioner Higgins. The Public Works Director activity report for June 2023. The Highway Department completed painting of all vascular lines of creek-designated roadways. Stormwater inlet was repaired at 196 Morgan, 14 Steeplechase, and 2 Sky Lane Turner Industrial Way. Stormwater inlet cap was replaced on Megan Circle. Parking lines were painted at Weir Park. Installed 2 video surveillance signs at the community center. River birches and shrubs were trimmed at Weir Park along Creek Bank. Removed bleacher area, asphalt broken, and 8 new clean stone. Installed 5 Lions Club signs at entry points throughout town. Dirt and seed was added to complete white job on Dorothy Lane. All islands at our community center were mulched. Aston Township decals and radios were removed from vehicles. Truck number 8, truck number 14 being returned as per new vehicle lease. shoulder of road was repaired with Ronald using hot tar asphalt. 50 potholes were filled using 1 ton of cold patch asphalt. A large tree was removed from drainage tower, Concord Square Park, retention pond area. Weeds were pulled and sprayed at roundabout Cruiseville Road. Our sanitation department picked up 71 tons of recycling and 538 tons of residential waste. The following roads are state-owned and maintained by PennDOT: Fennel Road, Concord Road, Dalton Road, Richwood Road, Dutton Mill Road, Aspen Mill Burning Highway, Body Road, and Lenai Road. If you have any maintenance or safety issues on any of these roads, please contact PennDOT at 610-566-0972. A reminder to all residents to dispose of all medical waste property. August 7th to 11th is Metal and Appliance Week. Bulk Trash Week no longer exists. Anything that can burn can be put out on your curb for trash at any time. Please have your trash to curb by 6 a.m. on your designated trash day. Any questions, please contact Russ Palmore, Director of Public Works, at 610-494-8005, and that's the end of my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. And Commissioner Doherty is going to read the police report, and he's also going to have a presentation. Before you do that, I want to do the approval of the report today, but read your police report.
Got it. All right. So first I'll start with the police report for incidents that happened in June 2023. Incidents handled, 483. Accident investigations, 27. Criminal investigations, 18. Criminal cases cleared, 15. Clearance rate for Part 1 crimes, 83%. Clearance rate for Part 2 crimes, 75%. The license plate reader terminals, Heno and Concord Road, 1,041,000. Heno and Dudden Mill Road, 670,915. Concord and Dudden Mill Road, 765,255. Concord and Aston Mills Road, 584,890. And Concord and Bridgewater Roads, 564,583.
All right, so now I will, Commissioner, I want to get the approval first. Okay, so we need to have approval of the treasurer's report. Could I have a,
Make a motion.
okay, we have a motion, how about a second? We have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Nays? The ayes have it. And one other thing, review and approval of the bills and payroll report. Need a motion?
Make a motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions from the board? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay. So now we have a presentation by Commissioner Dockery. I think Commissioner might have to relocate there.
So this is technically part of the police committee, so that's why I'm doing this up front. All right, tonight, this keeps cutting out on me, sorry. Sorry for turning my back, everybody. So tonight I'm talking about the automatic license plate reader program and the overview camera program. I had my helper here, Officer John Ryan, help me to put this together with some of the data and some of the pictures. So this PDF will be available online tomorrow on the Township website. So don't go crazy if you don't see everything tonight. So I'm going to start off talking about the project backgrounds, the history of this project, why we did it, the technology, the license plate readers, the overview cameras, the locations, how we face things, the costs, the results to date, looking at traffic data, and the Part 1 and 2 clearance data, look at a few case studies, and then finally some acknowledgements. So, start off with the project background. When you look at our police report every month, I think our clearance rates were less than optimal. I think it's something all the commissioners have noted. And our police officers and detectives do a great job, but they don't have Ouija boards. They go, after there's a crime, they try to bang on doors to get camera footage, but usually it's not there. And instead, they don't have a Ouija board, so they needed some sort of technology to really help them. Another thing is we're a cut-through township. So by that I mean a lot of people drive through us to get to 95. So which really increases our traffic. I want to look at technology as a force multiplier. Having a police force is very expensive, and we wanted to see what can we use to help really leverage the existing number of officers. We were also behind the times. A lot of other municipalities had similar technology, but we weren't even looking at it. So I wanted to make sure we caught up with everybody else. So I consider the project start date for this back in December 2019. This was the night of the, I talked to the chief, this was the night of the police Christmas party, December 2019. So I consider this is the real start date for the project. So look at the technology. So we currently have two different types of cameras in use. The first is the ALPR. You might just hear me call LPRs. They're automatic license plate readers. These interface with a web platform, and they provide alerts to officers in real time. And it provides images of the rear vehicles for investigation. So I'll show you pictures in a few minutes. You'll get to see the license plates and how clear they are. And the other type of camera is the overview camera. This provides a bird's eye view of the intersection. It provides a live view to the officers in the station. And this provides ultra-high def video record for the intersection. The data for this is stored for approximately 2 weeks. As we know, memory is very expensive. So every 2 weeks or so, the data is overridden. The video footage is overridden unless we have a reason to save it. So the first is the ALPR system. This is provided by a company now called Viper, what used to be called Plate Logic. They're a local business owned in Chester County. The LPR systems record license plates as they travel through intersections equipped with the cameras, the LPR cameras. The system records the date, time, the vehicle type, the registration plate, the license plate, and an image of the vehicle. These records are stored in the secure system of Viper for a 1-year period. Then the data is purged. Registrations are compared in real time to hot lists. So the police are able to set alerts based on stolen vehicles, amber alerts, and silver alert. The LPR records are available only to authorized law enforcement. It's accessible only via a secure web portal. It requires two-factor authentication, and security is CJIS compliant. Now, CJIS is Criminal Justice Information System. There are security audits performed on the system by the PA State Police, and officer use is logged and subject to internal audits by the Aston Township Police Department. The LPR system provides a real-time alert to officers. It provides an investigative resource for up to 1 year, and also provides us with traffic flow and road usage data. So I'd like to think of this system as a radar and a time machine built into one. So here's an example. This is what the police see in the tablets of their cars in the police station. The police are able to pick various alerts, say stolen cars or amber alerts, and there's usually a ping in the station when something goes off. So here's an example of a suspended license plate. This car is just for an example. It's actually from our officers. So you see how clear the license plate was. So this happens instantaneously. The LPR takes a picture of the back of the car, compares the license plate to a hot list. So it says, oh, it's a suspended car. And you see a list on the side that's blacked out. So this is what the police see in the station. So here's another example showing the image of day, night, bad weather, so on and so forth. You see how the system is able to read everything. The system is very powerful in that you can search for a specific vehicle based on registration. You can search for a vehicle based on the make and model of the car, and you can search for a specific intersection or direction. And obviously, you can search for time. It's a site. So the overview system is slightly different than the LPRs. These work hand in glove in most of our intersections. This footage is live streamed to the station. This has actually allowed officers to respond to serious accidents prior to dispatch. I've heard anecdotal stories of some officers eating lunch at the station, or eating dinner at the station, and having to look up at the cameras and see an accident. So they're there on site before it can even be called in. So as I mentioned before, the footage for these cameras is stored for 2 weeks on a local secure hard drive. It allows for review of the footage after the fact, so if there's a hidden run or an accident, we're able to record that. It's been used numerous times to determine the cause of an accident, and it's been used to assist in criminal investigations, such as a subject fleeing on foot. This system does not utilize facial recognition. So this is what the officers see in the police station. So we're going to be expanding this program to a phase 3, which I'll get to in a minute. But, so they're going to have to put more TV cameras in the station, but this is what they see. You have all the different intersections in real time. So let me blow it up. This is Penn Dudley Mill Road, yeah. So really, the picture here doesn't do it justice. It's very clear. It's crystal clear in the station. It didn't really transfer over here that well, but you see how the bird's eye view of everything going on. All right. So next, very important, locations, phases, and costs. Very important slide. So we've been talking about this for several years. So we currently have 5 intersections that are up and running. We started off with phase 1. We didn't want to jump in with both these. We started with phase 1, which is 5 points in Penn and Dudley Mill. These are our most crowded intersections. So the board approved the cameras back in April of 2021. They went live March of 2022. So there we have the license plate reader and the overview cameras for both intersections. So you see the cost on the right for those cameras, for those intersections. Phase 2, Concord and Bridgewater, Concord and Aston Mills, and Concord and Dudley Mill, they were approved by the board back in February 2022. They went live in April of this year, April of 2023, so just a few months ago. Again, LPRs and overview cameras. One thing I want to point out is the costs are a little more for these cameras because we don't yet have the Green Light Go program for Concord Road with the fiber optics we can piggyback off of like we did for phase 1. So we're looking to start Green Light Go later on this year, so we should see those costs drop somewhat. So right now I think we're using Comcast for data transmission. And then finally we get to phase 3. We just approved, the board approved this back in April of 2023. So we're looking at an additional 8 intersections. So the first one we see, Penn and Glendale. This is a license plate reader and an overview camera. This is where Barnaby's is. You'll notice the rest are just overview cameras. And look at the cost. There's significant cost decrease just for using overview cameras. Now the truth is we don't need LPRs at every intersection. It's overkill. And other municipalities are starting to put cameras in too, so really there's no need to have every intersection covered with an LPR. And you see there is a cost savings there. So we're looking to have the cameras on Pennell Road installed probably in Q3 of this year. And once Green Light Go is done for Concord Road, we're looking to have those cameras installed probably Q1 of 2024. So the total cost of the entire system is about $73,000. All right, so this is an example. This is a diagram of how the cameras are set up. This is phase 2. This is Concord and Dudley Mill Road. So the cameras, you've probably seen them in the back of the mast arms of the intersections. I'm not sure how well you can see this with the lights on, but you're usually hanging in the back, other directions the car drives by, so it captures the license plate. So these are what the overview cameras look like. Again, Concord and Dudley Mill Road, very wide angle. They're very high def cameras. All right, so this is phase 3. This will be upcoming in the next few months. This is Glendale, Glendale in front of Barnaby's. So on the left-hand side, we have the diagram of what the LPRs will look like when they're set up. And on the right-hand side, we have the overview cameras. So this is something I put together. I used our ward map. I thought it was a little bit easier to see. So the black boxes indicate the intersections that have LPRs and overview cameras, and the red boxes are intersections that would just have the overview cameras. So you see we have pretty good coverage through most of the township. One thing I want to point out is neighboring municipalities either have LPRs already installed or they will be in the future. I know Upper Chi's had them for a few years. Chester has them installed, and Brookhaven is starting to get theirs installed. So we have good coverage even outside the boundaries of the township. Now the results. What do we got for our money? Well, first let me start with the traffic volume. So these cameras are great for engineering traffic studies. We pulled together the average traffic flow per month for each intersection for the 5 intersections we have covered. So 5 points, no surprise. 1.1 million cars per month are going through there. Penn and Dudley Mill, 835,000 cars on average. Concord and Dudley Mill, about 817,000 cars on average. Concord and Aston Mills, since Fisher's Corner, 641,000. And Concord and Bridgewater, we're looking at about 600,000 cars per month going through. So this surprises most people when they hear how many cars, how much traffic we have. All right, so now, very quickly, our officers are required to complete reports for all calls. These reports are used to send crime data to the state police and FBI, and the system is referred to as a Unified Crime Reporting System. It's a UCR. UCR is broken into two categories, Part 1 and Part 2. And UCR offenses are cleared if an arrest is made, a crime was unfounded, so it didn't occur, or the victim declines to prosecute. So I like to think of Part 1 and Part 2. Part 1 is violent crimes, and Part 2 is not violent crimes. It helps me to think of that. Okay. So for this presentation, UCR data was compiled and compared before and after the camera project started. We compared data between calendar years before the camera was implemented to the present day, and we looked at cases which were still under investigation were excluded. So in many cases we've solved the crime, but we haven't officially closed it out yet, so we had to leave them out of this report. So you'll notice a significant increase in UCR case clearance since the camera system went in place. So this is a combination of our UCR data for Part 1 and Part 2 crimes. So in 2021, before the cameras went live, we had a clearance rate of about 37%. In 2022, that number went up to about 58%. And remember, the cameras only went live in March of that year, so it's not even a full year. And in 2023, we've gone up to about 58% clearance rate for both Part 1 and Part 2. Now, again, the cameras for Phase 2 just went live a few months ago, so really their effect hasn't been realized yet. So looking just at Part 1 data, since the cameras went operational, this we call Phase 0 before the cameras, we had a clearance rate of about 30%. Phase 1 with the first intersections, we had a clearance rate of on average of 43%. And since the Phase 2 cameras went live 2 months ago, we're up to 43.5%. Again, not fair since the cameras just went in service 2 months ago. So Part 2 clearance, before the cameras we were at 47%. The Phase 1 cameras are up to 67.5%. And since Phase 2 cameras went in April of this year, we're up to 69% clearance. So pretty effective. So look at a few case studies. The first is a missing persons case. The Aston police read the report of an elderly couple who had not returned home from a trip. Their families were worried. They were last seen over 300 miles away outside of the state. Family members were concerned. They were unable to make contact. And they called the Aston police. One of our officers was able to use the LPR system, and he said, we're tied into the entire network. So it goes that we get to see things beyond the township, and he was allowed to find the last known location of this vehicle was the PA Turnpike. The vehicle had never actually returned to Aston. Our officer contacted the PA State Police, and he found out that the individuals had actually been involved in an accident on the turnpike. The police were able to contact the family members and direct them to the hospital where their elderly parents were transported. All right, Part 2 is armed robbery. The police were dispatched to a local business for an armed robbery. We looked at the video cameras from the store and able to see what type of car the robber left in. So, a vehicle from the store, closed circuit TV footage was found passing through the intersection adjacent to a business via the LPR before and after the robbery. We got the registration information. We identified a suspect, and with the assistance of the neighboring agency, the neighboring police department, the suspect was identified and arrested within 3 hours of the robbery. I know the commissioners were emailed on this one as it happened live. In real time, we got a chuckle out of that this guy was in handcuffs within about 2.5 hours of this happening. Very satisfying. Okay, next, this is an interesting one. We had a theft at a local school that occurred during the prior weekends. Now, the interesting thing here was the license plate reader system at the first intersections went live just a week before. So there was some training equipment used by the students that had been stolen from the facility's property. The equipment was valued at several $1,000s. So we looked at the school closed-circuit television footage, and it showed the suspects driving in a rental truck. That had some distinctive features. We checked our license plate reader records, and we got the license plate number. We contacted the rental agency, and they confirmed that the vehicle had not been returned and the due date was missing. So we entered the license plate information in our hot list. A few days later, the vehicle passed through Aston, triggered the license plate reader. The officers pulled over the truck. The occupants matched the system of suspects in the closed-circuit TV footage. We got the car. Various items were identified. We got some photographs of stolen goods from the neighboring police departments. The PA State Police actually believe that some of the items may have been stolen from their jurisdiction. Items were later confirmed to be remnants of stolen items from the PA State Police theft. And both suspects were successfully charged by the PA State Police and Aston Township Police in a joint proceeding. The suspects were later charged for similar offenses in Chester County based on our investigation. Chester County theft occurred. The theft in Chester County that occurred the same week as our Aston Township, Pennsylvania State Police stuff. So these guys were busy. And the final case study. This is a multi-state burglary ring, which we were able to break. The police were alerted to a stolen vehicle traveling through the township. So what happened was there was a vehicle that was robbed, stolen, or not robbed down in Delaware. They went on this crime spree throughout New Jersey, Delaware, Pennsylvania, and Maryland. They robbed a chain store in a neighboring municipality. As they went through Aston, it triggered our cameras and alerted the police. And as I recall the story, the police put two and two together. They saw which chain store had just been robbed in the neighboring municipality. We have one at 5 points, and they put two and two together and realized these guys are going to that location. So as the closed-circuit camera showed, the car was actually casing this location to rob it. So the police arrived, and I believe we chased them down 95. Eventually, the Delaware State Police took over the chase and caught the suspects. So the suspect was captured by neighboring Delaware State Police agency directly as a threat from Pennsylvania. We got a stolen firearm and other items from the Pennsylvania burglary. We found another vehicle that was involved in the multi-state burglary ring. It was located after the fact. It was tied to this arrest. And like I said, the suspect was believed to be casing the Aston business-related burglary attempt. So why am I doing this presentation? Well, first off, a lot of people complain about lack of transparency. So I wanted to show you what we're spending our money on and how successful it's been. There's a term, force multiplier. In our view, I think this technology is adding probably the equivalent of an extra 3 officers, patrol officers on duty at any one time. It's very subjective, but you see our success rate so far. One thing I want to reiterate, as I've said many times, these are not speed cameras and these are not red light cameras. Many people on social media think otherwise. And finally, I want to send a message to any criminals or anyone who wants to cause trouble. Stay away. We can see you coming. You're not going to get away with it. So finally, to acknowledge this first officer, John Ryan. He pulled the data together for me. He got some of the pictures. He's our LPR guru. Sergeant Chad Osborne, our now retired Sergeant Chad Osborne, and Detective Tommy Jane Christopher. They were the ones who first reached out to Plate Logic several years ago and got the ball rolling and oversaw the installation of the cameras for phase 1 and I believe phase 2. And that's all I have. Okay. All right, thank you.
Very good.
Very good, John. Very good, thank you. Okay, so now we have what everybody's been waiting for. 30 minutes open to the public, agenda items only. Anybody have agenda items only they'd like to come up and discuss? Okay, seeing none from our youth. Yes, Mr. Kessler? Is this an agenda item?
Excuse me?
Is this an agenda item?
I don't think so.
Okay, we have another one of these further on in the meeting, okay?
All right.
So you stay put and I'll make sure we get it. Right? Seeing none then, other than Mr. Kessler coming up later. we'll move on to new business. Consider a motion to approve the purchase of a Leach 21-yard rear loading residential refuge recycling body trash truck. Mr. Prendergast.
Yeah, new business, consider a motion to approve the purchase of a Leach 21-yard rear loading residential refuge recycling body trash truck. I make a motion to approve the purchase of a Leach 21-yard rear loading residential refuge recycling body trash truck in the amount of $106,979.50. In the form of a motion.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any comments from the board? Okay, seeing none. So all in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Would you
I
like to
wanted to
make
make a comment, and it went too quick. I just want to thank Kelly Pippin for an excellent job in getting us the grant to help to pay for this and offset the costs to the public. Great job.
Okay, thank you. All right, item B. Consider a motion to approve the purchase of a GL Sayer Peterbilt chassis for residential refuge recycling body trash truck. And that's also Commissioner Prendergast.
Okay, I make a motion to approve the purchase of a GL Sayer Peterbilt chassis for residential refuge recycling body trash truck in the amount of $148,929 for the motion.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Nay? Ayes have it. And Mr. Burry's going to read, consider a motion to approve the submission of a multimodal transportation fund grant to the Department of Community and Economic Development, DCED, for intersectional upgrades at 5 points.
Thank you, Commissioner Hayes. Consider a motion to approve the submission of a multimodal transportation fund grant to the Department of Community and Economic Development for intersection upgrades at 5 points. Be it further resolved that the applicant does hereby designate James Chagall, Council President, and William DeFeo, Township Manager, as the officials to execute all documents and agreements between the Township of Aston and the Commonwealth Financing Authority to facilitate and assist in obtaining the requested grant. In witness thereof, I affix a hand and attach the seal of the Township of Aston, Aston Township, Delaware County, Kelly Pippin, Secretary. That's in the form of a motion.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions? Okay, seeing none. If you're signified by saying aye, if you approve.
Aye.
Okay, nays? Ayes have it. We have item D. Consider a motion to award the Green Light Go program for the Concord Road Fiber Interconnect to Miller Brothers in the amount of $179,030.83. Commissioner Burry.
I make a motion to award the Green Light Go program for the Concord Road Fiber Interconnect to Miller Brothers in the amount of $179,030.83, and that's in the form of a motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any nays? Ayes have it. Okay, moving along to item E, yeah. Consider a motion to approve entering into a collateral agreement with Newman University for a cybercrime center, and that's Commissioner John Dockery.
I make a motion to approve entering into a collaboration agreement with Newman University for a cybercrime center in the form of a motion.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Nays? Ayes have it. Moving to item F. Consider a motion to award the amphitheater project to Foresight Concepts, Inc. for the base bid amount less the canopy installation, and electrical work related to the canopy. Commissioner Bowden.
I make a motion to award the amphitheater project to Foresight Concepts Inc. with a base bid amount less the canopy installation and electrical work related to the canopy. The project will be done in 2 phases, with the 2023 portion of the state concrete apron and stormwater management to not exceed $235,000. The remaining portion will be completed in 2024. In the form of a motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions? All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Nays? Ayes have it. We already handled item G earlier with the promotion of Joe Nardone. So we'll go to item H. Item H is consider a motion to approve selling the 2006 Sterling Actera trash truck. Commissioner Prendergast.
I make a motion to approve placing the 2006 Sterling Actera trash truck on municipal bid to be sold to the highest bidder. Before the motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any comments or concerns? All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Nays? The ayes have it. Good luck to whoever buys it. Okay. All right, item I, consider a motion to approve the refund to Patricia Murray of Aston in the amount of $341 due to an overpayment. Commissioner Doherty.
I make a motion to approve the refund to Patricia Murray of Aston in the amount of $341 due to overpayment in the form of motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Nays? Ayes have it. Item J, consider a motion to approve the refund to Jonathan and Robert Eckert of Aston in the amount of $656 due to a double payment. Commissioner Doherty.
I make a motion to approve the refund to Jonathan and Robert Eckert of Aston in the amount of $656.08 due to a double payment in the form of motion.
We have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. The ayes have it. And we have one more. Consider a motion to approve a refund to Daniel Hoffman of Aston in the amount of $1,258.50 for a project that was canceled due to a homeowner. Commissioner Doherty.
I make a motion to approve the refund to Daniel Hoffman of Aston in the amount of $1,258.50 for a project that was canceled by the homeowner in the form of motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Nays? Ayes have it. All right, we got a little hold. That's okay. So now we got escrow releases. I guess very late tonight. I'll read it. The following amount is for engineering fees to be paid to Panoni Associates for the month of July, and it's a summary total of $6,300.50, and that's in form of a motion.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. The ayes have it. Okay. Now we have another half-hour question and answer session, open to the public. Any topics? Does anybody like to come up and speak? Mr. Kester, can you make it up here?
Sure.
Okay. I was just being nice.
Where do you want me to go?
Right here to the microphone.
Donald Kester. I reside at 126 Morgan Road in Aston, which is in the 4th Ward. I'm here to complain about the road conditions in 1st and 5th Ward. It's atrocious. We let the contractors go that long with the roads as terrible as they are. You know, the township is strapped for money. We ought to go after the contractors after a reasonable time and charge them per day when they haven't fixed them, then put them back in the prior condition. It's terrible. Is there any rebuttal?
Yes, sir. I was waiting to see if you were finished. There's two, I may have to call in, township manager also, and perhaps, the engineer, depends on what you're talking about. There's two sets of road work being done in the town. There's the annual road program, which would be the whole width of the
I'm
street.
not talking about that.
Okay, I need to qualify.
I'm talking.
Yeah, I know you go to this in Nancy's ward. No, I
It's
need
in
to.
your ward. The streets are in your ward too that have been.
They're in my ward and Nancy's ward.
Right.
Now, so, I just needed to disqualify one or the other, I wanna make sure, because, you know, okay? You know me. So I'm gonna ask, Mr. DeFeo to, give you, he's working with the contractors. The contractors are working on behalf of PICO, okay? But none of the cost of these roads, as you mentioned, township funds, none of this is township funding.
I don't care.
Okay, I just wanted you to know that it's not township funding. So go ahead, Bill.
So, Mr. Kester, there's a project currently going on called Pico Gas Main Replacement. And it's very critical that they complete the underground work that's currently going on some of our roads. Commissioner Bowden and Commissioner Higgins met with us and the contractor and the subcontractor, and they are moving as quickly as possible. We are on top of it. We are monitoring it every week, the activity of the contract, and they should be done as soon as they are able to complete the project.
I don't see anything happening.
So right now, they're in the phase of just wrapping up all the gas main replacements for improvement purposes and safety purposes. There will be paving going on for the next couple of weeks.
Work has been completed, and they paved over top of it, but they haven't done it in what I consider to be a professional manner.
That's temporary paving, Mr. Kester.
All right, but they could do a better job than what you see out there.
We're
They
pushing
just drive
them.
over it every day. It's it's atrocious.
We are pushing them as quickly as possible, Mr. Kester.
Wait a minute, you say you're pushing,
We are.
but nothing's getting done.
So it's a process. The subcontractor actually has to find
So I
a
think what you're
contractor.
gonna do is look at your contract before it's let. Give them
Contract.
reasonable time to complete it, and if it's not repaired in that amount of time, you start, fining them.
So we are working with the utility company, ECO, and we're also working with the subcontractor to move the
I don't
project
see
along
anything being done.
because it takes time.
I know, I've done a lot of that work, and it takes time, but not the time that they've been, allowed to, exist with these conditions.
I understand. I will register your complaint with them, and again, I'm in constant contact with them. Every week we get an update, and we're moving as quickly as possible. It's logistics, Don, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah, okay.
Don, what we're trying to do here is, we want to complete, they don't want to have to do this section here and then do the whole process and then move over here and then move over here. What they're trying to do is
Economics.
it's economics, it is.
So in the meantime, the residents of the township have to suffer.
It's what they call in Pennsylvania in the road programs is a short-term inconvenience, long-term improvement.
Wait a minute, it's not a short-term inconvenience, and some of those streets have been that way for a year.
No, it's not, it has been a year. It's not been a year.
Let's do it in Nancy's ward.
Not a year.
It's not
How
a year.
long?
Probably 8 months. Probably 8
It's
months.
coming up on a year,
Mr.
but I don't
Fisher.
see them doing anything.
We met with them on Schoolhouse Lane and Garden Lane and Virginia Lane.
And over in
I
Hollywood.
personally was there with them. They gave us their word, and I understand your frustration, I totally do, because I'm frustrated with it as well. Because I drive those roads just like many of my residents do. And you know what, maybe Mr. DeFeo can light a fire under them, and we'll take it into consideration, and we'll talk about it.
There's something wrong with our contracting
Well, I
process.
agree with you.
If you allow it
It's
to-
not our contract.
So the way the contract is what?
It's Pico's contract, Don, it's not our
I don't
contract.
care whose contract it is.
Well, they have but it's a utility company, so they have the right to do what they're doing.
Okay, fine. But we have a right to expect them to do this in an expeditious manner?
Absolutely.
Is
Well, I mean, I
it- Is it
understand
being
that.
done that way? No.
It's a mess.
It is.
Absolutely right. It's a mess. And it's not fair to the residents, I absolutely agree with you. And I'm sure Mr. DeFeo is gonna make a phone call,
Why can't
and
something
light
be
the fire.
put into the contract to limit that?
It's not our contract, Don. It's not the township's contract.
Who
It's
let
the
the
utility,
contract?
it's Pico's contract.
They came to you for permission, correct?
They came to us for permission, they have a timetable. They are working to actually make the best use of the resources that they have allocated to the project. So, like Mr. Hagan said to you, they have to do it in a pattern. So now that everything's done, what you see may not be completed, maybe there's more activity going on
Are
in
they
another
gonna
area.
dig up that temporary?
Absolutely.
I'm gonna explain that to you, if you would let me. Any street that had been paved within the last 5 years through our road program will be totally repaved. Now, what you're, and what,
But when?
could I please explain to you what's gonna happen? Because if I don't give you a good explanation, you're gonna say, well, the streets are gonna look bad. So what they're gonna do is, everywhere where they dug the street up, and including those narrow panels, those narrow strips that are like the width of these tables, they have to take everything out of there, the asphalt and the dirt that's under it, because that's temporary, and they have to put down an undersurface on the road. They have to put down the large stones and then the small stones, bring it up to the PennDOT standard so that the road won't collapse later on. So now, what they're gonna do, where you have a road let's say it's this wide, where they did the cuts, okay? And then maybe it goes like this. What they're gonna do, they're gonna come out 8 foot on either side, okay? And they're going to put in the right bed. Then they're gonna mill the road first. They're gonna come out 1 foot on either side so that it's not something going like this and create a large strip. Then they're gonna put in there all the undersurface, all the required road bed materials, the small stones, the large stones, and the smaller stones. And then they'll put the asphalt on top and then a final coat.
Why couldn't that have been done first, or when they first built?
Because what happens is you're gonna be bringing out, you've seen the trucks that the trucks and the equipment that mills our roads,
Yeah.
okay? You know the size of it. So if you're gonna bring that out for just doing a small area, it's very costly, okay? So they're gonna do it all one time for economy of scale, so the roads will look the way they were before, all right? So
Yeah.
this is the way road work
You're
is.
willing to take them at their mercy.
This is the way road work is done in towns. That's the process. I don't know what else to say.
What's up with this same nonsense?
I don't know what else to say to you, but that is the process that is used in the townships when this work is done. It's not just our township, and this was not we didn't go after them and say, you need to put new gas lines on these roads. They're doing this in Nancy's ward and my ward because in this part of the town, they're the oldest houses and the oldest lines. So that's why it's only us. So I mean, I'm sorry that you have to go through that, I really am. But I don't know what else I can do to help you other than Mr. DeFeo pressing them more. I just don't know what else I can do to help you. You know, I understand, every one of us up here have to drive those roads also.
Me as a contractor, cut and lay an electrical line under a state highway. I was not allowed to leave it that way. for the amount of time it is. We did one half, come out, steel plates, and did the other half, and then we, finished them right then and there. We were done in less than a month.
Well, like I said, I'm really sorry you have to go through that. I don't know what else that I can do to satisfy you on this subject.
Well, just one suggestion, I think what these guys are trying to explain is the process. The key thing to emphasize, Mr. Kester, is that this is PICO doing this project.
I understand.
So my suggestion would
And I
be.
know, I've dealt with the utilities
Yeah.
before.
So my suggestion,
They
Mr.
pretty much
Kester.
have free license to do any damn thing they want.
Yeah, so Mr. Kester, once you.
But you don't have to put up with it.
Yeah, so the suggestion I think as well is, you know, I think there's contacts and everything provided by PICO. You know, if there's ultimately, there's an interest in voicing that concern to PICO, maybe Bill or somebody can provide you with that information, and you can raise your concern there. Not that we won't as well, but that's another avenue.
Thank you.
Why are you thanking me? I didn't
Bring
do
it up.
anything.
Okay, anything else?
Does anybody else have any, Mrs. Pat?
Kathy Path, 2931 Concord Road, Aston. Just one quick question, because I'm hoping, well, I'm not hoping, but I think you guys are going to be taking vacation next month, so just double checking as far as the synchronization on Concord Road, the lights, is that still on target for the fourth
We'll
quarter?
let Mr. D'Souza do that.
That was the project they awarded tonight to Miller.
I wasn't sure, and
Yeah.
again, because it's cryptic kind of,
Yeah.
for shortness, so
So
I was
that's the
just
project they
wondering.
awarded tonight, and as Mr. Dockery indicated, that's part and parcel to getting the cameras on those roads also. It was awarded tonight.
If we put in red light cameras, getting people going through red lights, we'd be the richest township. Okay, thank you.
We're not allowed to do that. Does anybody else, would anybody else like to come up? Nancy, did? Okay, you could have stayed home then. Got a little lively in there. So would anybody else like to come up? Okay. All right, we have a
I'd
couple
like to
of.
make an amendment to my statement.
Okay.
Do I have to go back up there as long as I can shout loud enough?
There you go.
You know, I just thought of it when I
Good
got back
idea.
here and
Good
said,
idea.
no, those highways, or those roads, have gotta be a pain for any emergency vehicle where you're trying to navigate them at a higher than normal rate of speed. Has anybody ever thought of that?
We haven't received any complaint from the fire department that I know of.
Or the police department?
There's someone behind you.
I
There's the chief.
understand.
There's the
but
chief.
They haven't had a problem yet, but there's a potential problem there.
Understand. Okay, I'd like to move on. We have some other business. Announce new building committee updates and public meeting. Commissioner Joe McGinn.
Thank you, Commissioner Higgins. We've talked a lot about the process as folks that are here to come to these meetings or listen to them or watching at home about the new municipal building and the police station. And what I'd like to do now is just announce a date for a public meeting that we're going to be holding specifically to go over that process and where things are. So I'm announcing a public meeting for the new Township and Police Department building to be held Thursday, September 28th at 6 p.m., which will be at the James W. McGinn Community Center on Concord Road. So that'll be a public meeting specifically to go through the police station, the new proposed police station and municipal building, and share with the public all the progress that's been made there, and what some of the plans are and a timeline moving forward, and allow folks to meet the project architect, the other team, and ask questions and have those questions answered.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner. And you're welcome to come, Don. We have another item, item 11B, announced no public meeting in August, and Commissioner Bowden.
With great pleasure. As done in past years, I would like to announce there will be no public meeting in the month of August 2023. We will see everyone in September.
Hey, thank you for that, Commissioner. So now we have, we're gonna move to other business, say goodbye, whatever. So John, do you wanna have something?
Well, yeah, first off, Sergeant Nardone, congratulations and good luck in your new role. And for everyone else, have a great summer.
Hey, Commissioner?
Yeah, I think just about the same thing. And again, I want to congratulate Officer Nardone. Like John just said, everybody have a great summer and a safe summer.
Commissioner Berry?
Same congrats to Sergeant Nardone on his promotion.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Bowden?
Congratulations to General and our police department. I want to thank everyone who attended our fireworks. They were absolutely phenomenal. I thank our police department for getting everyone home safe and in a timely fashion that night. And I also want to thank the Public Works Department for a lovely job done in the Kennel Manor Park. So for all of you that do not know where Kennel Manor Park is, go up and see it. Beautiful sign. It's absolutely incredible with our wonderful Public Works Department. Have a great summer.
Commissioner McGinn?
Echo everyone else's comments. Congratulations, Joe Nardone, and have a great summer.
Okay, thank you. Township Manager, Mr. DeFeo? All good? Assistant Manager, Kelly Pippin?
Just congratulations to Joe on his promotion.
Okay. Our Solicitor, Mr. Maverick?
I don't have anything to add.
Okay. And Mr. D'Souza?
I'm good.
Okay, thank you. All right, all I'm gonna do is, I guess, echo what everybody else said. Congratulations to Joe Nardone. Joe's a detective right now. He's gonna be moving downstairs and be a, I guess, what's the right term, patrolman? I determined he'll be out on the street in the cars. So now, we're gonna have to, I guess, appoint somebody to be, up in the, detective bureau up there. So, we look forward to hearing from that. So I think our police force is, looking good, and the moves we're making is good. We've had some retirements, but, we're gonna come out smelling like the rose on this, and, thanks to, Commissioner Doherty and our Chief of Police, Dan Ruggieri. So, with that, I have nothing else, and, I make a motion to close the meeting. So moved. Okay, thank you.